Hey, good Sunday morning, everybody. I'm getting ready to set up for the morning briefing. Another foggy morning here in Southern California. And the surf sounds kind of explosive down here, but it's not that big. It's a little bit up, I would say. Boy, we've got a lot to talk about, including south of the border. There's some good stuff going on. Bluefin tuna around Ensenada and even further on down. We're seeing some great yellowfin tuna fishing. Let's see what this water temperature feels like. Whoa, still kind of warm. Feels like mid 60s to me. I could be off, but that's what it feels like. Also, we are watching several other situations: Tanner Bank, Cortez Bank, Cherry Bank, where we've had some great bluefin tuna fishing, but it's dipped a little bit, and we have some weather coming up. Also, we'll take a look at the surf, the Coronado Islands, the Channel Islands, and so much more. It's time for me to shut my trap and get ready for the morning briefing coming at you next.
Big fish.
It's a friggin' gator! Give me my Kitech back.
Hey, before we get rolling, don't forget you can help us produce more content by purchasing some Friedman Adventures merchandise right now. Just go to www.embroiderycreations.net and buy a hat, a shirt, or some other great Friedman Adventures merchandise. It helps us produce more content, and it's a way to show your love for Friedman Adventures. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate your fantastic support. Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California here this lovely Sunday morning on another foggy morning. Man, it is foggy, but that ocean is pretty calm. Is it the calm before the storm? We're going to talk about some weather headed towards Southern California. Also, we're going to go south of the border and check out some really great yellowfin tuna fishing for San Diego-based boats, and the Pongueros out of San Quintin are in on that also. Up and around Ensenada, we're seeing some more bluefin tuna and spectacular rock fishing. We'll check out the Southern California coast. Has there been more of that local barracuda lurking around? How about white sea bass? And how about the islands? We've got to talk Coronado Islands, Catalina Island, San Clemente Island, and the prolific Channel Islands. We've got that and so much more. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good Sunday morning. Oh, is that good, and is it great to be with each and every one of you? Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy morning here. And I mean, it is busy with all the sporting events going on, a big election on the horizon. There is so much to do and so much to participate in. How about those Dodgers with another great win, up to zip now? Man, it's going to be tough for the Yankees to come back, but they do have 3 home games now, so we'll be watching that very, very closely. And hey, my Fighting Irish played number 24 Navy yesterday and beat them 51-14. Nice win. They're looking better every week. I don't think they're national championship caliber, and for us diehard Notre Dame fans, that's all that matters. I know we put way too much pressure on the team, but man, they look good against Navy. Hopefully, that's a sign of great things to come. If you don't mind, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Also, share these videos with a friend and subscribe right now to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content, and purchase some Friedman Adventures merchandise today. It helps us to produce more content. You can also find us on Facebook. Go over there and sign up. Friedman Adventures, Instagram, and TikTok, and Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Also on the horizon, Thursday is Halloween. And then after that, it's Thanksgiving and Christmas, and another year has gone by. Man, things are moving so quickly. And we're going to have some great wintertime events for you all, including some more surf fishing right here in Surfside, California. So keep that in mind. All right, let's go south of the border, and let's talk down there around the San Quintin area. which I'm going to get into in more detail, but I just want to make it clear that if you'd like to make that 140-mile drive or whatever it is from the border there at San Ysidro, California, down to San Quintin, the Pongueros down there are all over that superior grade yellowfin tuna and doing quite well. And there is bluefin tuna there, reluctant to bite, but they're catching a few more now. So there's some really good fishing if you care to make that drive. Down there in Ensenada, we reported yesterday, Diego Puentes from Baja Sport Fishing telling us that down around Punta Colonet, there's a good area of bluefin tuna. Now, Ensenada is about 70 miles down below the border. Punta Colonet's 120. We are also seeing some fish closer to home, and that is starting to look better also. A little bit more bluefin tuna. Paulina, my co-host when I'm down in beautiful Ensenada, Baja California, was out with her mom, and Foca, who is one heck of a Pongero. We love Foca. We love Paulina. We love her mom. We love her whole family. Anyway, they ended up with 3 bluefin tuna. So a nice hit for Paulina, mom, and Foca, and great to see that going on. Also, some superior, awesome rock fishing going on. The Soledad Bank is a great place to fish, and Sammy Susare went down there yesterday. He runs out of the Malecon right there in beautiful Ensenada and went down there and just put the hurt on the rock fishing. Some nice lingcod to go along with it. Nice going, Sammy. Some great fishing in Ensenada. It's a beautiful drive down there and great fishing. I know you're going to enjoy that Baja hospitality when you get down there. So great stuff south of the border going on right now. Let's talk long range as long as we're that side of the border. Boats that are running 8 and 10-day trips out of San Diego continue to experience absolutely phenomenal fishing. They're catching wahoo around the rocks. They're catching copious amounts of big yellowfin tuna to 100 pounds, most of it in that 50 to 100 pound class, and also great yellowtail fishing. And on the way home yesterday, the Independents had just that kind of bite with the yellowtail, then catching sheephead and calico bass. This is after they've already experienced wonderful fishing on wahoo, on yellowtail, on yellowfin tuna. Soda Pop was on that trip, and he said it has been another one to remember. A great trip on the Independence. Royal Polaris and all the long range boys who've been down there have been having absolutely great fishing. Don't forget, April 25, we have a 5-day trip on board the Independence out of Point Loma Sport Fishing in San Diego. I hope to see you on that trip. Give Paulina a call and book that trip right now. We would love to see you on that one. So some really great stuff going on the other side of the border. All right, we're going to kind of go back now down to the San Quintin area outside of, San Martin Island and offshore, where we have been having some really great yellowfin tuna fishing. And I mean awesome. So boats running out of San Diego, making that trek down there. You could do it on a reverse day and a half, but it's really difficult. You want to be on a 2 or 3 day trip to make things happen on that kind of a trip. And man, the fishing has been phenomenal. Not only because we've turned the page and we've started catching that warmer water yellowfin tuna, but the grade of fish has been absolutely spectacular. It's beautiful fish. You know the long range fish I was just making reference to? That same fish seems to be down there 150 miles south of the border, and the boys out of San Diego have been putting the wood to it. Max Nui ran the Pacifica yesterday, and Max said, Phil, the great, magnificent, beautiful big fish, 17 guys, 40 nice yellowfin tuna down there. And Max said, we continue to see that big bluefin tuna. There's a little bit of it starting to be caught, but man, if that light switch were to go on, and yet both those species biting down there, it could really get spectacular. It already is really a great late season bite, no question about it. So we ride this thing into the fall. And as I'm going to mention to you in a moment, Tanner Cortez, Cherry Bank sputtering a little bit and some weather on the way, making a left-hand turn and running down there now is a viable option and really fun stuff. Really big grade fish. Those fish, the yellowfin tuna that is, are biting 60-pound in a lot of cases. At one time they were a little finicky, and sometimes you'll run into a school on a pod of dolphin that acts that way, but you want to hook these bigger fish on the heavier tackle, no question about it. 60-pound fly line bait, good hot bait will get the job done for you all. Trocar hooks by Eagle Claw, super sharp and super strong. Man, we love Trocar, so keep that in mind. Some really good fishing going on. Tribute, 56 yellowfin tuna. All of them nice, great fish. Most of them nice, great fish. The vast majority, big fish. A lot of that 50 to 100 pound class yellowfin tuna. Spectacular. I don't know how it can get any better than that. Tax problems? Call Tim Marquez. Tim will take care of everything for you. He's a trusted Friedman Adventures family member. And if you have heating and or air conditioning needs, you want to call John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. Let's go out to Tanner and Cortez and the 650,000 pound elephant in the room right now is the weather, because it's supposed to get nasty out in that neck of the woods here this evening and blow through at least Wednesday. So we are going to have some inclement weather out there manifesting itself with really gusty winds and high seas. So we're going to have to watch it. It has been hit and miss out there. The Amigo ran a trip out there, the Freedom, both boats out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California, our home base, and they had slower fishing, just a little bit of bluefin tunas. That stuff seems to be off the bite anyway. And now we're going to go into this weather scenario. So if the weather forecast holds, and it looks like it's going to do just that, it's going to be pretty much unfishable out there in that neck of the woods, which the San Diego-based boats now have that advantage of making that left and heading down the Baja coast to fish that YFT down there around San Quintin. It's going to get a little breezier down there also, but not like what's going to happen up here. The bite up here on Tanner Cortez has been a plunker kind of bite when it was going well. So that means 25-pound fluorocarbon with a number 4 circle hook working best of all. Definitely want to have heavier tackle in case they fire up. But for right now, we're kind of on hold with this bite. We'll have to see what happens. Is it the end of the season? I hardly think so. We've been through this before. We've seen drops in water temperature, and we will get that. You know, that's inevitable. That's going to happen after you get this much wind. But we've seen that bluefin tuna just being so resilient and hanging in there. And I think that's what we are again going to see out of it. But it's going to take a little time. We'll see what happens and continue to watch it very, very closely for you all. Let's talk islands, and we got to talk the Coronado Islands, where there's still some decent yellowtail action. Not wide open, and definitely not a poor bite by any stretch of the imagination. Just good, solid opportunities on the yellows at the islands. San Diego out of Seafloor Sport Fishing in San Diego was out there yesterday with 27 yellowtail, and the Sea Watch also out of Seaforth had 11 yellowtail, and of course they can catch lings and reds and rockfish, every once in a while a little bit of barracuda and bass. There's other species to catch, although most of the guys are focused in on that yellowtail. The grade has been beautiful, like 15 pounds and above for the most part. And those fish have been taken in a variety of different ways. Surface iron and fly line bait, and also yo-yo iron and dropper loop. So once again, we'll continue to watch it, but that's pretty good. Clemente, that's San Clemente Island. Mostly rockfish out there in that neck of the woods, along with some calico bass at times, and a few yellowtail, but really not all that wide open. Again, the deep water cod right now is what we're fishing in Southern California. The regs mandate that you fish 300 feet or deeper, and the El Patron has been putting the wood to some big cod out there at Catalina Island. They run out of Long Beach sport fishing, and they've been doing great. The Pursuit yesterday, well, they started out trying to get a surface bite going, and Nick Ramirez was on that trip out of 22nd Street Landing, and Nick said, man, I kept throwing my Colt Sniper, trying to get a bite on the bonito, and I kept looking around, being very observant, Nick, and that's a great quality for an angler to have. And Nick said, man, they are biting bait. They want a good lively bait. They want me to switch to bait. Nick did and caught some bonita, and also there was some bass caught and rockfish. Really a great time, Nick said, on board the Pursuit out of 22nd Street Landing. So some guys will give an opportunity to the surface stuff over there at Cat and then turn their attention to some nice big cod, big bokashi and reds, and so much more. If you'd like to get on the El Patron, they're out right now. You can do it by going to www.longbeachsportfishing.org, and you can get on the El Patron. So some pretty good stuff going on. Channel Islands, Daniel Hadaway and the Island Spirit have been experiencing absolutely great rock fishing up there in the deep water. Nice big cod for Daniel and the rest of the folks fishing in the Channel Islands right now. What I ask you is wrong with that? Kids fish free today, so they got a nice load of people out there doing their thing. And of course, that is every single Sunday, and you will ride that out through the rest of the year. If you want to get on the Island Spirit, give my friend a call up there, Saul at Ventura Sport Fishing right now, 805-676-3474. Give him my very best. He is one great person, or you can just go to venturasportfishing.com and book up right now. Up there in Avila Beach in Morro Bay, some outstanding fishing going on for rockfish. In fact, our friend KJ from Mag 12 Swim Baits was out on the Fiesta, and KJ got on board, and of course, the first thing he did was walk around, shake everybody's hand, and then start handing out his ganyons and his swim baits. And every single one of the 12 links they had on that trip were caught on Mag 12 swim baits. KJ said it was flat calm, wide open on the bottom fish, nice big quality stuff, huge amount of fish up there out of Morro Bay on board the Fiesta, and I don't know how you can beat that. And KJ is going to have several more trips in the future. You can get out there and join him, fish his baits. He provides some of that stuff to you for free, and you'll have a really great time. And that is big quality, really fun fishing up there on the Fiesta out of Morro Bay. San Francisco, some excellent fishing going on up there in that neck of the woods. Also, as we see lots of links up there, there's still bluefin tuna offshore if you're able to get out there and give that a try. So some really great stuff going on, no question about it. Hey, let's talk half and three-quarter day now up and down the Southern California coast. We start you in San Diego and run you all the way up to the Channel Islands. Pretty much all sheephead, whitefish, rockfish, nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's going to provide excellent table fare for all of you who want to have a fish taco feast, perhaps for Thanksgiving. I mean, that would be the perfect time to do it. So some really good rock fishing. We see an occasional halibut, even an occasional exotic like a yellowtail down there around Point Loma. But for the most part, we're talking rockfish. There's even been some barracuda here in the LA Orange County area. The other day, 3 days ago, the Victory had 50 barracuda. Since that time, it has gone downhill. Same thing over there in the Monte Carlo. They had a little pop on the barracuda and the bass, but for the most part, we are looking at rockfish filling the sacks. And man, I'll tell you, the other day on the Monte Carlo, they had limits of vermilions, limits of rockfish on the 22nd Street landing based Monte Carlo. Not a darn thing wrong with that. That is some great fishing. Our friend Marcus Fame. Marcus contributes so much to Friedman Adventures with his expertise and his enthusiasm. He recently lost his mother, and our hearts and prayers go out to you and all your family and loved ones, Marcus. So it's been a very difficult time for all of the loved ones of Marcus's mother. Yesterday, they decided, let's go on a fishing trip on the Tortuga. So Marcus and his father went out trying to assuage their grief during this very difficult time. And they had a great time catching limits of rockfish, but more importantly, spending time together, father and son, doing what they love so much and keeping their mother in mind during that whole process. Fishing as a healing therapy. It was a beautiful moment. And once again, Marcus, to you and all your loved ones, our heartfelt sympathy, keeping your mother in our thoughts and prayers always. All right, so up and down the coast, we got that rockfish kind of a situation going on right now. Charlie Vetter had his 4-year-old son out catching barred perch in the surf. The Southern California surf is pretty good right now. Yesterday, Bob Osborne was down here, and he caught a nice barred perch. Tom Raftican right here behind me. He had a nice big yellowfin croaker and a barred perch. That stuff's starting to bite a little bit. Those fish were taken on bait that they got at Big Fish Bait and Tackle down on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway, where they give away a free custom, beautiful surf fishing rod every single month. You just need to walk in there, buy the ruler that you'll use to measure your prize catch, and then you're in every single month in the tournament. We'll give you all the details, including what species of fish we are targeting this month. So down there around Huntington Beach, we continue to see some pretty darn good barred perch fishing. Sometimes they're small, sometimes they're decent size. Also, a little bit of Corabina where you find the warmer water, especially up there in the Santa Monica Bay around El Segundo, and even down there around the Torrance Beach area. That's been pretty good around the Topaz Rock Jetty, but a lot of barred perch, some halibut over there in Long Beach, around Cherry Avenue and surrounding areas. The other side over there around Seal Beach, there's been some halibut on Lucky Craft lures being taken. John Garma, we need a surf fishing report out of you. So there's been some pretty good surf fishing action. Let's turn around and take a look at that. Man, hey, man, you're throwing a Lucky Craft in that condition right there, or you're throwing a little chrome crocodile. Man, it would be perfect. And high tide is right about now, so it would be the perfect time. Surf fishing is so great because you get the kids outdoor, or you get yourself in the great outdoors, and that is so important, to get off the phones, to get off the sitting there with the TV clicker going like this 24 hours a day. Get out here, and if you have a challenging budget, who doesn't nowadays with inflation and everything else, this is an affordable way to come out, have some fun, and enjoy the great outdoors. Surf fishing really is a wonderful avocation for you. All right, man, I'll tell you, it's absolutely beautiful. I know it's foggy and it's a little cool, but man, it's great to be alive. It's great to be on this beach. It's great to be a Notre Dame fan, a Dodger fan, and I'm looking forward to more great sporting events and more great outdoor opportunities here in the very near future. Also, we do have a 2-day trip coming up on the Apollo out of 22nd Street Landing in November, an 8-day trip on the Independence, which has been sold out for a year, and then we have our 5-day trip on the Independence in April of 25, and a whole new schedule of trips that I'll be releasing here very, very soon. Have a great one. Thanks for all your great support. Purchase some Friedman Adventures merchandise today. We would deeply, deeply appreciate that. And as always, I hope to see you really, really soon.